We are flight directors leading NASA's Mission Control Center. Ask us anything. Do you girls party with the aliens at Area 51 very often? Wink. Hehehe, thank you. They seek you for a solution when there is a problem. Houston, we have a problem. But what if you are the one having the problem? Power outage, flood, fire, etc. Can you work from a different location / different directors? Hi, this is Mary, Infinity Flight. Thank you for the question. A large part of our job is to plan for the possibility of contingencies both in space and on Earth. Mission Control here in Houston has backup power and support capabilities, but we also have the ability to use alternate NASA facilities in the event of a Houston evacuation. What is, in your opinion, the most challenging thing that NASA has accomplished since 2018? This is Mary, Infinity Flight. It's an extremely busy and exciting time here at NASA. There has been many significant accomplishments over the past couple years. One event that I was specifically involved in was leading the International Space Station spacewalks to upgrade a set of batteries external to the ice. These batteries store power from the solar arrays and were delivered by the Japanese logistics cargo ship called HTV. The spacewalks were completed in April 2019. There is another HTV mission, #8, to the ice coming in September. What can the average Redditor do to try and increase the percentage of the federal budget that is currently allocated towards space exploration? A great question for the anniversary of the certification of the 19th Amendment. No amendment required for you to be able to write to your congressional representatives to encourage them to support NASA and our missions. Emily, Parrot Flight. What has been your most stressful experience working as a flight director? P.S. You are also inspiring. Thank you for your hard work. This is Mary, Infinity Flight. In October 2018, I was supporting console during the Soyuz Manuscript 10 launch anomaly and subsequent abort from here in Mission Control Houston. The Soyuz spacecraft was carrying astronaut Nick Hague and cosmonaut Alexei Ovchinin. This resulted in a ballistic landing of the spacecraft. The teams across the world utilized training and preparation in order to react, and it was an amazing and successful display of teamwork. Wicked. It's comforting to know that everyone is so capable and ready to act at any moment. Do you use clock and spaceship different from Earth? How do you use regional settings? Close bracket. We use GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, which is the time at the Royal Observatory in London, to stay in sync between the crew on the ice, for example, and all their supporting ground centers. Pooja Jesrini, Unity Flight. On the International Space Station we use GMT. On vehicles that are in space for a shorter amount of time we frequently use Mission Elapsed Time, MET, which is a clock that starts with liftoff. The advantage of MET is that your times are applicable regardless of what your launch date might be. Emily, Parrot Flight. Hello. I'm currently studying for my undergraduate degree in aerospace engineering. I also plan on completing a graduate degree in astronautical engineering. I'm really nervous and curious about what lies beyond the educational part of my journey. Interstellar inspired me to take up this course, and I'm heavily invested in it. Could you tell me what obstacles you faced after you graduated, what you are currently working on, and your plans for the future? Remain curious. Curiosity can drive exploration, both personally and professionally. I'm currently working on sitting as many shifts as possible in mission control for the International Space Station. /Rebecca Wingfield, Cerulean Flight. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but Artemis is supposed to be like a middle step to eventual other celestial locations outside of Mars. Have any gotten NASA's interest? Going forward to the moon and onwards to Mars are in the short-term goals. The Gateway project will help leapfrog us onwards. Pooja Jesrini, Unity Flight. Nebulae that you find the most inspiring / beautiful? Mine would definitely be NGC 7653, the Bubble Nebula. How about you? The Helix Nebula. Pooja Jesrini, Unity Flight. Hell yeah. I love that one too. Orion is also especially beautiful. I'm a 47-year-old man, and when I was growing up, my room was decorated with images of rockets, planets, and NASA mission patches from Apollo, Skylab, and eventually the space shuttle. What inspired you all to enter this profession? What obstacles were worse than you expected? Were there any obstacles that ended being easier than you expected? Apollo-Soyuz was a big inspiration for me. It's awesome that we can run such complex missions from all around the globe. The international collaboration can be complicated, but really worthwhile. Courtney, Tranquility Flight. Hi. People like you are my heroes. Where do you personally see the human presence in the solar system by 2100? Great question. While the specific mission may be different planet, different science experiments, different people, the urge to explore will always remain. To those around in 2100, Godspeed. /Rebecca Wingfield, Cerulean Flight. When the commercial crew starts flying, will they report to Houston or to the companies? The companies are responsible for the flights to and from ICE, so the crews will talk to them during those operations. Once they arrive, they'll work with Houston and our partner centers for ICE ops. Courtney, Tranquility Flight. How do you keep your interest up during missions that may take months or years to complete? The International Space Station mission has been 20+ years, but our mission changes so much over time, and the ship herself has changed so much over time, that we are constantly challenged and interested. Emily, Peridot Flight. Hi. First off, I would like to thank you for taking time out of your no doubt busy day to discuss your job and knowledge with us Redditors. What was the most interesting thing you encountered at your time at NASA? How did you get to where you are? College classes, career paths, etc. Have you or others sharing your job position ever been in serious danger? Thanks again. You are welcome. One of the most interesting things I have done at NASA was flip the International Space Station around 180 degrees while using gravity and limited thrusters to help guide the rotation. It was very fuel efficient. I personally studied aerospace engineering. Pooja Jesrani, Unity Flight. How does NASA plan rocket launches? It's an interesting puzzle with pieces in orbital mechanics, range availability and international partnerships. /Rebecca Wingfield, Cerulean Flight. What would you say the future is for NASA? What are your future goals, and what do you proudly look back on that inspires you to strive in the future? Keep up the great work. NASA's Artemis mission is the first step to begin the next era of exploration, to establish a sustainable human presence on the moon with the goal of sending humans to Mars. And I'm excited to be a part of it all. /Mary, Infinity Flight. What are the best things, and maybe worst, things about being female flight directors? Is being a lady working at NASA any different than being a lady working elsewhere? The best thing about it is that I don't have to think about it, because all of my co-workers treat me as a peer. /Rebecca Wingfield, Cerulean Flight. I'm ashamed to admit as an aero PhD student, I have no idea how the ice handles space debris. Does a vessel just tank smaller hits, or is there a way to avoid collision? What happens when there are larger objects that the station would simply not recover from? Also, thank you for taking time to answer these questions. I know you're all pretty busy, so it's awesome to hear from you all. How ice handles debris. When we know it's coming, we change our altitude to get ourselves out of the way. We also train our teams and our crews on what the risks are and how to handle it in different situations. Thanks for sending questions our way. Happy to join you! Courtney, Tranquility Flight. Huh, that makes sense. I don't know why I thought there would be some crazy over-the-top solution. Thank you, Courtney. Can you describe your different career paths that led you all to becoming flight directors? Thank you. My career path was fairly simple. I had the opportunity to come to the Johnson Space Center right out of college to work as a flight controller on the International Space Station Mission Control Team. After about 8 years, on my second try, I was accepted into the flight director office. I'll get Courtney to answer too, since her path was more interesting. Emily, Peridot flight. What is your favorite rocket to see launch, and why was it the shuttle? All of them. / Rebecca Wingfield, Cerulean flight.